Wanderers, welcome to the Wondering Dutchmen podcast, proudly brought to you by our buddy John Songer and the Gaslight up there on historic 4th Street in Huntingburg.
Hi, it's John from the Gaslight. Just kidding. But John from the Gaslight is bringing you this episode of the Wondering Dutchmen. The Gaslight, located on historic 4th Street in Huntingburg, is your go-to spot for good food, great pizza, and cold beer. John wanted us to remind you that the Gaslight is also your go-to spot for holiday parties. It doesn't even have to be a holiday party. You can host a team, birthday, or class reunion in the back room. The Gaslight will also help your organization raise funds through pizza fundraisers. And you can't forget about bar catering for your next private event. Give John a call today. Also, if you're looking to make a little vacation, holiday, or even beer money on the side, John would like to talk to you about working at the Gaslight. Inquire today.
The Wondering Dutchmen podcast.
Well, none of us are Dutch, but we all live in Holland, Indiana. Join us where we talk about what we all wonder about. This is the Wondering Dutchmen podcast coming to you from Smoker's Lounge.
The Wondering Dutchmen. Yeah, yeah. The Wondering Dutchmen. Yeah. Here we go.
I am Esquire, and joining me here at the table with the fall festive centerpiece is my buddy and my other buddy. Sitting in the middle with the rose-colored glasses and the turquoise rings. He's got that turquoise turtle hanging around his neck, and I tell you what, he's looking high-speed, low-drag with that new haircut. It's our buddy by way of Richmond, Indiana, David Allen Smoker.
Hello.
Sitting across from me, looking very high-speed, super low-drag because he got a haircut too that I didn't comment on Wednesday. Bad podcast partner, bad friend. The mustache with the most. By way of Holland, Indiana, with two sweet dear parents, how they didn't strangle you when you were a young lad, we'll never know. It's our buddy, Zachary David Masner.
Hey, guys.
We are here in Smoker's Lounge, and a big thank you to Gaslight for being the title sponsor of this episode. We appreciate John and everything he does for us. We love the Gaslight, so much so that maybe we might do our first live show up there. What would you guys think of that?
It'd be fun.
I'm down for whatever.
I'm down to clown.
Do whatevs. There we go. All right. Hey, we got to rip the Band-Aid off here. And the only way to do that is say, Lights by Logan is sponsoring this little welcome back chat on this Friday morning.
Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas. Wait a minute. It's only October. But our buddy Logan Clark with Lights by Logan wants you to be in the Christmas spirit this year by decorating your home with lights and other holiday decorations. Let Lights by Logan take the pain out of the holiday decorating and let them do all the work for you. From install to taking down, they do it all. The schedule is filling up fast as Logan and crew service DuBois and the surrounding counties. Give Logan of Lights by Logan a call today at 812-631-4700.
All right, big fella. What you got?
Well,
What's on your mind? Doesn't have to be anything you got going on. Is there something that maybe isn't a topic that you just want to discuss or get off your chest? Or
whenever we're recording this in real podcast time, it's Wednesday.
It's Thursday.
And it's Herbst Fest weekend. And this God-blessed hurricane,
Helena.
Helena.
I don't practice Santeria.
It's really taking.
I don't have a crystal. Wait, no.
I ain't got no crystal ball.
That's a Hannah, not a Helena.
This frickin' hurricane's really taking a shit right in the old.
I believe it just canceled our golf plans.
I know. I'm pissed. I just got that too. God damn it. Anyway, Was really looking forward to playing golf. I was going to get sick, real sick tomorrow.
Sick as shit.
Yeah, sick as shit. But anyway.
Brown sack flu, brown bottle flu.
Yeah, the brown sack flu. Holy cow. But nope. That's all I've been wondering about. The Herbs Fest, it's going to rain. The parade's Sunday. The warden's got to work, which is shitty too. That kind of sucks. And I'm on call. Really double down. Max has got football. Evelyn was supposed to have a cross
Still
country.
having football.
Yeah, Max is supposed to have cross country meet, no, Max wasn't. No, Max does not run cross country.
I was going to say, when the
He
big fella
can do
gets
whatever.
cross
He
country.
can do whatever he puts his mind to.
His sister runs cross country. But hey, speaking of Max, and I totally forgot to talk about it Wednesday, the God blessed U12 Blue team come out with a championship trophy for the
Well, hell yeah.
Not only were they first place to the league with 4 wins, they were also the tournament champ. And
Is this football?
this is soccer.
Soccer.
Yeah, well, some would
world
play it,
sport.
Some would call it football.
Some would call it
Football de Americano.
Football. But I have to brag on the big fella. So they tied in regulation.
Yeah.
Go to PKs.
What's PK?
Penalty
kicks.
Okay.
So basically, it is mano a mano.
Mano a mano.
Or some would say Juan on Juan. And
Sí.
senor, they five kickers, 1 keeper, right? So each team selects 5 kickers,
Cinco y uno.
and they go through the line. We tied on PKs. So then it goes 3 more kickers off your bench, not including any of the first 5.
Oh, okay.
So you got to be. This is where
You got to have depth.
Yes, this is where your bench depth comes in. So they bring 3 more kickers in, same keeper,
What's a keeper?
goalie.
Okay.
So 3 more kickers come up. We drew first kick in sudden death. Our kid comes up, far corner. We score.
Go!
Yep.
Ole, 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 ole.
Yep.
Ole,
They're,
ole, ole, ole.
Their next kicker comes up, and big fella blocks it.
Hell yeah,
we
brother.
We walk around. We walk away with the trophy and the dub. But yeah, I had to. It was intense. Believe it or not, I mean, as intense as a 12U soccer game
Oh,
could
hell
be.
yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
It actually was.
high energy.
It was a pretty big nail
Exciting.
biter. But yeah, no, that was last Sunday. Like Dave said, and Casey said there, that soccer season wrapping up. But
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
Dave, anything for the good of the order, buddy? Anything on your mind, on your chest, on your back?
tattoos.
Yeah, I got tattoos on my chest and back, I guess. Some on my ribs.
One hell of a good looking horse.
I appreciate that. It ain't got no teeth. It needs them because it's snarling.
Will you get a tramp stamp?
I'd get a tramp
I'll
stamp.
pay for
Hell
it.
yeah.
I don't know what it'd be.
If we
but I'd
could
get one.
find somebody in listener land to pay for 3 matching tramp stamps,
I'm out.
shocker.
Shocker.
You guys can do it. I'll record.
No.
Yeah,
all right.
that's what I thought. We'll do
Anyway, it's up on to fall. I think that's good. I'm getting ready. It's like fire season.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of fire season.
Yep. Me.
I got a
too.
pool to close yet.
I'm gonna tear mine down.
I got a Yukon to fix yet. I picked up the parts from Toys Auto Parts, where the best part is you. So this weekend, going to work on that
In the rain?
if I have to.
Okay.
Yep, I'm just going to hunker down and get her done because I got to get rid of that Yukon because I got to put a butcher shop in out here.
Okay. Yeah.
Because Wyatt, opening day of youth season for Bo is Saturday.
Well,
He's
no,
gonna-
it's actually gun or bow.
First opening day of youth season,
Yeah.
he's taking a bow,
Oh.
is Saturday.
He's got to go with somebody though, right?
No.
Yep.
Yep. I don't think so.
Yep.
Nah,
Yep.
maybe.
Hell yeah,
We'll let
buddy.
that part out.
That's okay. I'll figure that out.
But yeah, so I'm gonna have a
Good
deer to
luck to
put
him.
through that big old grind. I think I can dump the whole thing in there and just
Like with the bones?
antlers and skin, fur and all. That grinder's gonna be mean.
For some reason, this burger is pretty tacky.
Yeah. Amazing.
Never had a fur burger.
Me neither.
Oh, shoot.
What about you, Casey?
Well, I had a unique experience the other day that I wanted to broach with the boys. And our friends over at DuBois County Tire and Supply were on board last month in September. Shout out Zeth and the crew over there. We appreciate them. But I was over there at Pappy's there at the Eckerty T, little south of the Eckerty T. I forgot.
Formerly known as the Eckerty Y.
Yeah, I forgot that the old low fuel light dinged on the old Polar Bear.
Oh, no.
And then I checked the old mileage, not trusting the electronics 100% because this truck is 20 years old. I was like, I better stop. Pappy's was the only option there. And I was getting gas. And some fella pulled up in a car. And I swear to you, the tires on that car look like racing slicks.
Hell yeah.
I mean, like it could be a light sprinkle, and there's no way that son of a bitch is getting anywhere. So
you never know. Them babies heat up, and really lock in.
I mean, like they were bald. Like his table had more groove on them than what his tires did. It's a dangerous situation, but no, not too much else going on. You know, same old. We looking forward to the weekend and not having anything to do, which will be nice because. Seems like we've had some things going on these past few weekends, and Janelle had to work late and all that other good stuff. But nice to have a little weekend to catch up before, just everything. So there it is. There it is.
Hell yeah.
Big fella, what you got for us today?
Well, my first topic for today is entitled Jailbreak, Love on the Run. Did you guys, by chance?
I did. They're going to make a movie about it or show a special. I think.
The Netflix. Yeah. Did you guys watch any of it?
No.
So, for those unfamiliar with what I'm talking about, on April 29th, 2022, a convicted felon named Casey Cole White walked out of the Lauderdale County Jail in Florence, Alabama, alongside a corrections officer, highly regarded corrections officer, by the way.
She looked like she was.
I think we talked about it on the show.
We did a little bit.
Yeah, we covered it.
But now this new one, well,
we talked about the actual event, not the show made about it.
Yeah, because it just came out this week. But Vicky White, White told supervisors that she was taking Casey White, no relation, for an inmate, to a mental health evaluation, but no such appointment existed. So they basically just went out. I mean, this video, which just blows my mind. So I'm about, I don't know, 25, 30 minutes into this show already, before I passed out and started to mouth breathe.
Longer than normal.
Yeah. And there are totally a shit ton of like recorded phone calls that were made between them two.
They're all recorded.
I understand that. But at what point do they listen to them?
Only if there's reason to. They don't pay somebody to just sit and listen.
Oh, yeah, lots of phone sex. Yeah, Jenna. Yeah, baby.
I would say in the realm of what I've experienced.
I don't know why I just said Jenna and then phone sex and then went like.
It's going to sound real weird on the episode.
Yeah,
I'm not editing.
For those
I'm just editing
listening.
this part out.
I have never had phone sex with David's wife. But Casey Cole and Vicky White had tons of phone sex via the old prison phone system.
So in my experience, there was a policy in place where certain inmates that, let's say, would maybe be high targeted, not targeted. Targeted is not the right word, but
watched.
Yeah,
like some
because
of them,
the nature of who they were, their offense, and different things.
If they think
something
there's
going on,
part of a network,
yeah, that they would be listened to quite regularly.
Right. So this individual, which I can't remember what he was actually in jail for,
like murder, wasn't it?
Yeah, I believe maybe you are right, but what? Sorry,
I think you were just getting confirmed on murder.
Is that right? Yeah, so he was in jail for murder, and it said that when Casey and Vicky failed to return to the jail, local, state, and federal investigators began what would involve into an 11-day manhunt hunt for the pair.
Manhunt.
And
With
then,
my keys and my khakis.
law enforcement stopped Vicky, a well-liked, highly respected assistant director.
A what liked?
Well-liked.
Oh, I thought you said whale.
Well, I mean,
A whale-like broad that came in here.
yeah, he hadn't gone. Okay, so he was convicted of murder, but hadn't gone to trial yet. Thank you, Warden number 2. Might have been taken hostage. They think that she had been taken hostage, but really she was just trying to take him on a. I think she wanted to just give him a road hummer. You know.
Now they ended up in Evansville, Indiana.
Yeah, and she crashed her car into the old ditch and then shot herself in the head, according to what this article says. But one hell of a Netflix documentary that I can't wait to really tie into. It's put together pretty well. A lot of interviews with her coworkers and people that knew her, and according to what I've gathered so far in the first 30 minutes of the show that I've watched, that everybody was pretty much blindsided by this.
Nice gal. Never would have thought she'd have done something
like that. I mean, they all said that like 25 times, like every interview, like never even thought about it. Yeah.
Well, this is the wild thing. I don't know. There's probably, that guy on YouTube that has like the hot woman crazy.
Oh yeah. Hot crazy matrix.
Yeah. The hot crazy matrix. There is something about an individual that is prison bound that some women just cannot handle themselves in a way.
They like that bad boy.
Because it's funny because you bring this up. I was scrolling through TikTok, and sometimes I'll get on that like I was pen pals with my now husband who's still serving time in prison.
I have classmates that are currently married to people that they met that way.
We'd have to talk off air about that because I'd be intrigued. But like I got onto this and like I start doing like the guy's doing a nickel upstate, just started his sentence. Wrote out.
I was going to say, if he's only doing 5 years, probably nothing that crazy.
Well, double nickel or 25 piece.
I mean, that sounds like tax evasion, and that's pretty much, your birthright as an American.
Jacking off in a public park. I mean, good grief.
Jesus.
So, wow, take it from tax evasion to that.
Oh.
But anyways, it was kind of a wild situation because she was...
Spoiler alert over here.
Right there.
Jenna, I want to watch the goddamn thing. Give me a break here. She used a burner phone. Duh.
What do you mean?
That's how Vicky, she had all these conversations, and
because her name wouldn't pop up on the owner of it. But sometimes you have to register, depending on the system, you have to register your phone to be able to do it.
Right. But like
it varies from jail to jail.
What a wild deal.
Probably had the inside scoop since she worked there.
Yeah, for a long time.
Probably
she knew.
But yeah, I don't know. I was saying the other night, I was telling a friend of the program, Miss Pamela Bolte. We were over.
Shout out, Pam.
We were over at Jasper at the kids' one of the Du Bois County Invitational cross country thing over at Jasper Middle School, and it was kind of a chilly. It was getting chillier that evening, and it was kind of little shot of maybe a chance for a shot of rain and the wind, and it was just kind of like a gloomy evening, and it had rained most of that day. That's what it was. And I was like, man, I'm gonna go home, get dinner done, supper made, everybody fed and bathed and all that shit, and I'm just gonna tie into some really boring ass documentary. And I clicked on this one, and it was not boring. But I was just pretty tired, so I didn't make it long. So I'll have to tie into it again. But yeah, I don't know, man. I wonder how much that actually happens in real life. But like they don't bust them out of jail. Like some of the bigger prisons where most of your like non-violent offenders are given jobs like within the system, or like if they're working at the old license plate thing and there's a woman in there and they're banging in the bathroom or something. I wonder. Conjugal visits.
I worked with a guy that was in prison for a fair amount of time, and when he got out, he married one of the guards that he had befriended while he was in there, female guard while he was in there.
Right.
I mean, it's a real power. I mean, it's a real dynamic. I mean, when you see some of that stuff, especially because if they've, depending on the level of supervision that's provided by said guard, they almost become, as crazy as it sounds, part of the dysfunctional family. So I don't know. Yeah, I have to check it out on the old Netflix.
Yeah,
another good find.
Right.
When things aren't what they appear to be,
becoming more and more of a problem.
Yes,
but back in the '80s, old Crocodile Dundee had it figured out.
That's not a knife.
Yeah.
This is a knife.
Yeah, I don't think that's what Dave was going with, but appreciate that. So I was up in Indianapolis for a conference, and one of the kind of unwritten rules is, if you go conference or something like that, buy you one nice meal.
Yeah.
The company will buy you
Per diem.
one nice meal. No, not per diem.
Okay.
Just
per
expense
trip.
it. Yes.
Per trip.
You've been on business trips.
I've been on one
Yeah.
with you guys.
Oh yeah. We need
Twin
to
Peaks.
And we had a nice meal.
We need to go back to Twin Peaks. Go back to see Uncle Todd. Make it work.
Yeah.
But anyways, I go to St. Elmo's. St. Elmo's is there in Indianapolis. It's a famed steakhouse. Been around forever. Really neat, cool place. The secret of St. Elmo's, and every time that I've eaten there, I always sit at the bar. It's a fun experience. You get to know the person sitting to your left, the person sitting to your right. It's fun. It's kind of like a social experiment. Dave, you would hate it.
Yep.
But it's a good experience. And so the guy to my right, super friendly, nice guy. He was from Chicago. He was in the racing business, had been all over the globe in racing, chasing Formula One, IndyCar, just a great conversation. He leaves. The conversation to my left, as I catch up on things, was very much like a husband and wife, got rid of the kids for the night, and they're out on a date night, right? There's sexual innuendos made. There's conversations about, this and that. There's taking bites off each other's utensils. Wedding rings on both parties. So I think, it's cool. It's date night. And I talked to the guy a little bit. Not much of a talker. He's engaged in what he's got going over there. Mm-hmm. Gets to be towards the end of the meal, and the bartender comes over and is like, so how long have you guys been married? And I was like, this will be interesting, to find out how long they've been married. I've listened to them for the past 35 minutes talk about anything and everything under the sun. And the woman responds, we're married, but not to each other. And I about choked on a piece of red meat because I, for the last 45 minutes, thought, husband and wife couple out for a night without the kids to celebrate something or just to be out. And I look up from my plate and I'm like, the bartender just white as this paper, that cup, whatever. She's like, well, that's cool that you guys are out together. And he's like, yeah, we've been, it's actually crazy. She was friends. She was like sorority sisters with my wife and actually set us up. And he just wasn't helping my perception of what I thought the situation was. And so they clear out, they leave, and the bartender comes over and she's like, what the and I go, hey, I was all on the same page as you, and I wouldn't be surprised if they left to go to the same hotel room.
Yeah.
Because I think it was in on business kind of deal. They weren't locals. And I told her, I was like, hey, listen, every signal and sign that came through was all you were right on.
Yeah.
When she came out and asked dessert and he was like, oh no, she's going to get something sweeter later. Telltale shit where you're like,
innuendos like that.
Yeah.
Huh? Wow. So they were super open with their affair, but they knew.
Well, we don't know. We'd be jumping to conclusions to say they were having an affair.
I'll speculate. So they were super open with their affair because they knew that nobody knew them.
I don't know.
They're from
Oh.
Nevada.
Yeah, or
I was
Or
just
Georgia, where we have 6% listenership, and you are busted, fella.
yeah.
But I don't know. So I was just wondering if you guys ever had a like she came over and she was like, I can't believe I just did that. Rule number 1, don't act that's you look at a heavier set lady and be like, oh, when are you due? And she's like, I'm not. I'm just 400 pounds.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
That'd be an awful big baby.
Insert foot in the mouth. But I just wondering if you guys ever had a situation where you're like, oh yeah, this is exactly what it is. And then at the last minute, it's like, Nope, not even close.
Yeah. Yep. I have had stuff happen before where I was like, I knew what was going on, what I thought was going on, but then like was completely blindsided before. You know what I mean?
No, I hear you.
Yeah. You, Dave?
You know, I know that there's been something. There has to have been. But I don't have anything that like pops into my brain like
Right.
something specific that, like, oh yeah, this one time that happened. I've had to screw up some social faux pas before because I'm awkward as shit.
I have. How many times have you called somebody the wrong name in full confidence that you're calling them?
I've called a sir a man before and vice versa. I'm sure.
Boy. Really?
Well, like some. Yeah, well, it just happens. Like some long-haired fella, fair complected from the back. Oh, pardon me, ma'am. Oh, shit, you got a small mustache. Is that the same thing?
And an Adam's apple. Yeah, that would kind of be the thing. Yeah, that would be pretty close.
That's maybe
to
a little different. Maybe that's a little different.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know.
No, that's wild, man. So like you think that they're actually a married couple, but come to find out.
Oh, and we commiserated. Like the bartender and I was like, "Hey, you might feel like you're in the wrong right now, but I promise you, like everything said, no, you're right on the money."
Wow. That's wild.
Hey, but before we get to Dave, we're going to take a quick pause. Brought to you by our buddy Chad Blessinger of Blessinger Insurance.
Hell yeah. Our buddy Chad Blessinger with Blessinger Insurance wants to clear up some myths about life insurance. One myth is that you should get life insurance once you're older. Wrong. Buy that life insurance now when you're younger and healthier where costs will be their lowest. Another myth is that life insurance is too expensive. Wrong again. Depending on your application and health screening, life insurance can be quite affordable. Life insurance is all about planning and taking care of your loved ones. Nothing can ever replace you, but your family shouldn't have to worry about paying the bills or buying the groceries. If you're young and have a family and haven't had the life insurance conversation with a trusted agent yet, let Chad Blessinger help you today.
All right, Smoke Dragon, we're back. Big thank you to our buddy Chad Blessinger of Blessinger Insurance. Smoke Dragon, what say you on this evening?
I want to talk about ride pirating. No, this is going back to
So pissed.
the bourbon and beyond. But we had the wife and I and neighbor Doug and his lovely bride, we had a pre-bourbon and beyond meeting the evening before we left. And we went through and we scheduled our rides home from the festival to the hotel every night we're going to be there, thinking we are getting ahead of the game here. So Thursday evening late, we go walking out to the concourse there where you go for such rides. And on the way out, we had 6 new drivers. Your driver will be there in 20 minutes. It's Emilio. Your driver will be there in 7 minutes. It's Steven. And we just kept losing our driver. What the hell? So finally, old neighbor Doug said, I tell you what's happening. Somebody's poaching our rides. I said, what do you mean poaching a ride? How do you poach a ride? He was like, watch. And old neighbor Doug walks up to the first vehicle he sees and he offers him a cash compensation for this ride. And they said, are you,
Larry?
Larry? No.
I'm Doug.
But I got cash. Hop in, hot rod. And so, we tried to do our darndest. But it didn't do us any favors. So for the rest of Bourbon and Beyond, it's like we were on the high seas. We were ride pirates. We just stole every one of them mother truckers. And it was a fun time. We had some good experiences, some bad experiences. This one guy got there's a language barrier, and I don't think he realized until halfway to somebody else's place that he had taken a bribe to go to somewhere else. One night we had an extra person in the party, and we had a banging ride in this little Corolla. We were singing, we were rocking out. This little Corolla was bouncing. People were looking at us and laughing, and they'd walk by, and I'd stick my hand out and say, "Hey, thanks for coming to see us tonight." Someone's like, "Are you Charles Wesley Godwin?" I was like, "You damn right, buddy. Thanks for coming." And people kept walking by, and we were just backseat karaokeing as loud as we could. It was a hell of a good time.
Unreal.
Dave, I'm going to tell you something.
I would be a mad son of a bitch.
Well, I am very surprised that a man such as yourself, with your high moral values and fiber, would get this low to be stealing rides from other people?
Had we not had 10 of them stolen in the first night, I might have been.
So this was more like a V for Vendetta kind of thing. Like maybe even like
It was a dog eat dog world, and you had to do what you had to do to get
If
back.
you can't convert them, kill them type thing.
Like, because here's the deal: like, as a crow flies, we're probably 5 miles from the hotel. I mean, it's walkable.
My
And
God.
again, like I said,
when was the last time you had walked 5 miles?
I walk 2 miles a day at work, and then I've walked 6 miles around the block here, the big block.
When was the last time you walked the big block?
It's been a month or two.
After sitting at a music festival for 5 hours,
Drinking beer.
I'm saying if you had to get
eating
back, the
dogs.
problem was it wasn't the 5 miles; it was down the interstate. Like, I feel like that's not.
Yeah, you don't want to take that risk.
no standee.
Yeah, I was less worried about the distance, more worried about the
Environment.
yeah. But we sat there and we waited and waited and waited, and neighbor Doug was right. He's like, "We can sit here until everybody else in this place is gone at 3 a.m. and then get whoever's left over." And I think he was right. And I was like, "Well, when in Rome,
Here's a
stab Caesar." You know what I mean?
here's a 25 spot and move on. Is that what was the going rate?
Oh God.
Don't want to talk about it.
No, please. I'm intrigued.
I can't. I can't.
I bet it's a
Dougie probably doesn't want anybody to know.
I bet it's an 80 spot. Yeah, or a Benji. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah. When you're ride pirating, you got to get the big dog.
So
out.
you're aware of ride pirating?
Yeah, but I've never done it.
Well, because you have morals.
Well, not
values.
only that, I've never been in a situation where I've ever needed to. Like I've been into like a highly trafficked, extremely crowded place before,
Yeah.
to where like I could see where it would definitely happen, but we always had accommodations right across the
So
street.
why wouldn't
or
Bourbon
where-
and Beyond organizers run like a shuttle bus to all these hotels?
And we asked the hotel. The hotel has a shuttle because it's all by the airport, and they have a shuttle that runs to the airport. Like, hey, would you be able to do something? And we even looked into getting rides to the airport because it was closer. But they just so what happens is they have there was probably 5 stalls, I guess, like.
Which, by the way, now that
Think
you're
of
describing
a-
that area where you're at, you probably wouldn't want to walk at anyway.
Right, that's what I'm saying. There's no good way to walk there.
Well, I'm talking about the environment.
Well, I told Jen, I was like, yeah, that's a great way to get mugged, and then
Yeah,
they find our
yeah.
bodies because you had to walk under like an overpass. It was 2 interstates intersecting and then like 2 state highways. So I was like, yeah, it's nothing but trouble. But picture like a toll booth. I don't know what you'd call that, but like the stalls for the toll
Yes,
booth. There's maybe 5 stalls. Okay. In each stall line, and the police are out there. You can't go beyond this point. And they got all these 5 stalls. Each stall probably has 20 or 30 cars in it. But you've got thousands of people, hundreds and hundreds waiting around the edge. But like thousands of people all leave for rideshare. And everybody's marching out there. Everybody's trying to get their drivers. You got drivers flagging people down. It's just a mass chaos.
So
And
really,
there's
you
just-
know what it sounds like. This is a content idea generator. What we do next year is we install dash cams.
I have a CDL.
We install dash
You
cams.
take a school bus.
Mm-hmm.
We install dash cams, and we just record the conversations as we go. And we
This
just
show was on HBO. Taxi Cab Confessions.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
oh
for sure.
yeah,
And then what? There was a trivia one too.
Taxi
cash cab.
Cash cab.
Yeah.
I loved
The guy
Cash
in New
Cab.
York.
But yeah, like it was just awkward.
There's
It was
another
bizarre.
show too. It's like a bus. Bang Bus.
Oh,
Bang
yeah.
Bus. But yeah, anyway, it was just wild to me because to your point, like I was like, oh, we can't do that. That's uncouth. But like we just sat there and
Uncouth.
Cab and Jenna both had.
I shall not degrade myself by being a ride pirate.
I will not.
Well,
tarnish
Jenna
my
had Lyft
reputation.
up, Cab had Uber up, and they're just cycling through. Your
15
driver will
minutes
be
later,
there in 10
Dave
minutes.
says,
Your driver will be
this will give the guy
That's
the money
exactly-
to get out of here.
The last time I was in a rideshare or with some sort of rideshare service, I was a man. Our driver was from Sudan, and he had about 52 kids. He said, I think he literally said he had 12 kids, And this was in St. Louis. And whenever we were getting dropped off at this gentleman's club, I said, Assalamu alaikum. And he said, whatever you would say to reply that in the native language. And I was like, yep, have a good one.
We had a Jamaican
idea. Pretty wild.
driver. We had an African driver. We had a Cuban driver. A couple of Hispanic drivers.
Cubans intrigue me because there's a culture there.
Yucky.
I was yelling. I was
shouldn't
pretty
say yucky. I don't know why I said
I got
yucky.
drunk early.
Like their food. I'm not really.
You don't like their food?
I mean, not really. Cubano.
I got real drunk early, and I was talking to the folks in the back seat. And I'm like, anyway, I was over there. I was like, shit, man, am I yelling? I feel like I'm yelling. Sorry, guys. He was like, you're yelling.
Yeah.
I was like, sorry, Emilio.
The last time
And I felt like I offended him. Like I was like,
yeah.
oh, he's going to throw hands here soon.
my best moment in a ride share was when we got picked up from a certain White Castle in Indianapolis on the south side of downtown. And I got in the back seat, and this guy had white interior, and I had a giant big red with no lid on it. I thought that old boy was going to have an aneurysm.
Oh, yeah.
Did you spill it?
Oh, no. He ain't wasting big red.
I went to, the wife and I went to Jamie Johnson in Indianapolis, and we hit the White Castle in Plainfield. And, oh, that was good. But I ordered White Castles with cheese, and they came without cheese, and I was irate.
I'd burn the place down. Burn the place down. Well, fellas, after a little bit of a hiatus, our buddy Brado is back for Brado's 3 Big Things, brought to you by Merkley and Sons. It's chili season, baby. Our buddies at Merkley and Sons should be your first stop this chili season. 1, you can get the meats you need for your chili and probably some seasonings too. The second reason, you can get some of those extra things that go well with a bowl of chili. Like, for instance, you can have a good old thick slice of cracker bologna, a snap dog, a frank, or even a Merkley seasoned patty on the side of your chili. Some may say that chili soup is enough of a meal itself. Well, those people probably don't enjoy life. Get over to Merkley's today and see the fellas and get what you need for chili season. 3 big things for the week of September 22nd from our buddy Brado. National Cheeseburger Day. Fast food chains across the United States are offering discounts to celebrate National Cheeseburger Day. It comes as many companies have unveiled promotions and giveaways this year to try to win back the customers they lost due to price increases. All right, Dutchman, let's hear it. The best fast food burger you've had is from where?
Burger King, double Whopper with cheese, loaded up.
I am not a Whopper guy. Never have been.
100%. That's where I was going. I've had some bad Whoppers. A lot of them have disappointed me because it's so often they've been so good.
Yeah.
I would say I do enjoy a good White Castle burger because they're a favorite of mine. 2 bites and it's gone. But I would say that I'm a big fan of the Wendy's. A Wendy's double.
That's true.
Very tough to beat.
Yeah.
Very tough to beat.
Now, MacD's, if you get the old double QP,
it's pretty good.
it is a good solid burger.
Yeah.
But I'm a Whopper guy all the way.
But I get in these moods where I want trash pizza. Not trash pizza, but not like Gaslight Pizza.
Gosh, I love a good fast food pizza.
Yeah.
But
We did it the other night. We went bowling for Eleanor's birthday, and I got on the app Pizza Hut Boom Bang 4 large specialties for like $42.
yeah, can't beat it.
Used my points for 2 extra
Episodes.
Orders of breadsticks.
Yeah.
On the way home, bing bang boom, hammer time.
But that's why I like a good McDonald's, just plain cheeseburger. That's pretty solid too. Sometimes the simplicity of it is good. Why parents should be concerned about trampolines. The nation's leading group of pediatricians warns that the home use of trampolines is strongly discouraged. A doctor explains why. A little more info from the article. There are a lot of ways kids can get hurt on trampolines. Children collide with one another while jumping all at the same time. They can land wrong on the trampoline, which is especially dangerous if they are. Brado sent a book. So, Dutchman, what say you? Yay or nay on trampolines?
Grew up with them, have them, still have one at home. Love them. Yeah, it's hours and hours of entertainment for my kids. I do have some horror stories, like trampoline horror stories. I have them, but yeah, no, I'm all in on them. Yeah, I even think they've pussyfied them now with those nets around the outsides.
Have you seen our trampoline that my warden bought?
That square ass thing with the thing.
The springless one?
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
what a joke, huh?
Christ. I was trying to buy a gun that week and I couldn't.
Yeah,
Come home to that monstrosity.
yeah. Evelyn was jumping on one with friend of the program, Christian James Schwinghammer's daughter, and we were watching the Kentucky Derby, and all of a sudden those two girls come running in the house, and Evelyn's screaming, and both of her front two teeth were bent straight back into her mouth. Evelyn was coming down as his daughter was going up, and her forehead hit Evelyn's mouth, and both of her front teeth, they literally broke straight back into her mouth.
Baby teeth?
Yeah.
That's good.
I went into the bathroom, grabbed the paper towels, and ripped them some bitches clean out, and she didn't have front teeth for a long time because the new ones weren't ready to come in. But yeah, trampolines, I'm all in. They build character.
Never had one. Neighbors had one. Kids got that little one. Probably not interested in having them one anyway, you know.
Will you let them jump on other people's trampolines?
Yeah. I mean, I don't have any qualms with that.
Have you ever taken them to a trampoline park?
No. That'd be fun. Listen up. Podcast stars are taking their fame to new heights by signing 9-figure deals for the rights to their shows. Joe Rogan, the Kelsey
Sign me
brothers,
up.
and Alex Cooper are among those who have cashed in. Good news for the Dutchman. I know you've talked about your favorites before, but what are some inspirational podcasts the Dutchman like to tune in on a weekly basis?
True crime. Anything true crime I'd probably listen to, especially if it was like real juicy stuff.
Juicy.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I've been listening to some more stuff. That Noble podcast that's come out with some new episodes, you know, continuing on that story.
I've been meaning to get in on that.
Trials and tribulations and stuff. So I don't know, man. I'm all into that kind of stuff. I'm into the podcasting true crime world, and then I've really been intrigued with like Iraqi freedom, Operation Iraqi Freedom, like the Iraq War into Afghanistan. Basically like testimonials, you know, hearing soldiers talk about their stories, different missions, different firefights, whether it was they were pro or anti, you know what I mean? If I'll just leave it at that, like whether it's something that they were all in for or they hated every second of it because they thought it was bullshit what they were doing, like some of those stories, some of those are pretty good. I don't know. That's what I like to listen to.
Smoke Dragon?
You know, I listened to Joe Rogan back when we were starting this.
Right.
Since we've done this, I don't really listen to a lot of podcasts. There's too much I can catch on shorts, like the Your Mom's House stuff.
Yeah.
Like I'll watch the shorts and get all I want out of it. But here lately, I've not been watching much on TV. I've just been doing a lot of reading, which is really just freaking me out a little bit because I'm not a reader. I didn't.
Well, Dave, you're 40 now. You do things
God
differently.
dang, I know, man. I know.
I used to, and then when we started living this life, I haven't. I used to dabble my toes a little bit in some political stuff. You know, some of the true crime. Everyone, you know, I'd scan through Apple Podcasts to look for some stuff, but probably the one I listen to all the time is Pardon My Take. Like, I have a weird Barstool thing. Part of me thinks that a lot of these guys at Barstool are freaking clowns, and the demographic they take hold of is that 16 to 25 market that has some income and spends it on buying shirts and all that other stuff. But like really, you know, and there's some people that are diehard Barstool people. I only listen to Pardon My Take, and that's it. Like, it's kind of got a mix of sports, but it's got some life stuff. But some people obviously dabble a lot more, but I don't know. I don't listen to them like I used to. I mean, I told Big Mace, I want to check out Noble. Also want to check out, you know, like when our buddy Todd McComas was doing a lot of stuff, check out projects he's involved in.
Yeah, This Day in Crime, the investigators, like some of his stuff was pretty good, but I don't have time to listen to him anymore. Like with my job the way it is now, I don't consume a fraction of the podcasts that I used to, which I miss because I really enjoy them. But
no, that's true.
It's just tough.
It is true. All right, fellas, we've reached the end of the episode, and it is time to take one more trip around the table to either a little insight on today's episode or what we got planned coming up or what we hope have happen, whatever it may be. But it's all brought to you by our buddy Nick Merkley and Southern Indiana Hardwoods.
Southern Indiana Hardwoods is kind of like a Swiss Army knife. They sell the Green Mountain pellet grills. They sell the accessories for the grills. They sell the amazing pellets. And guess what? They also sell heating pellets. Listen, there's more than one way to keep warm in the upcoming cold season. One of them is with Southern Indiana Hardwoods heating pellets. Reach out to Nick today and see how you can better utilize this alternative heating source.
All right, big fella, finish it up.
Well, like I said last Wednesday, peace, love, and positivity. Keep your stick on the ice and all that mumbo jumbo. Send some positive vibes out for our buddy Courtney Drew with Courage for Courtney. I got a kind of a breath of fresh air this week after the tragic loss of Miss Amanda Clem. I seen old Ted back in action. So shout out to our buddy Ted Clem if you're listening out there, man. We love you. The door's always open. We'd love to have you out to the lounge sometime to hang out. Bullshit. Told him if he ever needed to let his hair down to give us a call, we could probably help him out with that. But it was good to see Ted back in the saddle, working through the stuff and everything like that. So other than that, guys, that's all I got. I was glad to be back in the saddle with you. Glad to fire these babies up again. I was kind of getting the itch, and I'm glad I got to scratch it.
Hell yeah. Speaking on that, say thanks to old brother Casey here for putting together episode 274 for us last Friday. Much needed little breakaway that I got because of that. So thank you, sir, for your hard work and effort on that one. Glad to be back. I think a little breakaway with some live music and, just pause and all the day-to-day stuff was just what I needed to get me back in the groove one time.
There you go.
Take a little time when you need it, folks. Take a little time.
Not going to lie, Smoke, you are the straw that stirs this drink sometimes. So we're back glad that you're back. Not much on my end. We've been busy with the kids. We had tonsils out. We had illness. We had all that. Hopefully a lot of that's starting to get behind as we continue to move forward. Obviously, when you listen to this, we've made mention of it, but the Corn Ferry Tour Championship will be up at the resort. A lot of work has gone into it. Our buddy Red, shout out Red, but, it'll be cool. Don't know how much I'll be able to partake in watching. I know I may be playing a little bit, but I've earned it. I just want you guys to know I've earned it. So some may think I haven't earned it, but whatever it may be. But, as we go forward with this podcast, we kind of tried something. I mean, we might as well be honest here, and this is part of my final thought. We tried a little bit of a different, looser format that I don't think worked for us very well. And you talk to anybody that does this kind of stuff, you have to kind of keep things fresh and be willing to switch it up. And I think if we stay a little tighter, we find out that there's more meat on the bone for us to talk about when we kind of just go off topic. And I'm glad we can do that and work through it because we are running a business too. And our numbers, I don't know if you've seen our YouTube numbies lately, but they are
numbies.
They are growing.
I can't wait to see our numbies.
Yeah, they're growing. And Dave's like, numbies, what are you talking about?
It was like an hour later. I'm like, oh, shit.
A few minutes later, it's like, numbers. And another thing I want to talk about, there was another young man that lost his life in our community.
That was my thought for Wednesday. That's why I said hug your loved ones.
Yeah, and I really think that is, and it's a tough,
Unreal.
Can't imagine.
Absolutely unreal.
But yeah, hug the ones you love, hug the ones you don't love,
Because you never know.
because you never know.
Yeah.
And other than that, it's good to have the crew back together. We got to thank the Gaslight, Lights by Logan, Blessed Insurance, Merkley and Sons, and of course Southern Indiana Hardwoods.
Hey, before we go,
yeah,
tell them about our merch store.
yeah, we are trying to do a little bit more to kind of shoot out some one-offs and do some different things. Hopefully everybody has gotten their hat. If Dave, when he edits this, he'll zoom right in and he'll see this beautiful hat that I have.
She's a beauty.
The Mount Rushmore Geniuses. Mm-hmm. We have a Smoke Responsibly shirt out right now that we kind of bad time to release it when we did it. We sat on it a little bit longer than we should, but store's still open for that. Get it, check it out. Dave will put the link in. We'll try to push it a little bit more.
That's right.
Cool design by our girl Taryn. She does a wonderful job. She's a silent operator in this operation.
Contributor.
Not so very silent anymore.
Yeah, not so much anymore. But we got another. I'm just going to let it cut out of the bag. I'm working with her, or will be. By the time this comes out, I will be. So it's not a lie. Working on an Orange Brigade hat.
Orange Hat Brigade hat.
Orange Hat Brigade. No, Orange Hat Brigade shirt. And we will put the Orange Hat Brigade hat that you rocked so elegantly back on the market for purchase, because I think there's a lot of people that liked it.
Hell yeah.
But that's what we're doing. So support us. We love seeing it out in the wild.
Stay tuned.
It is great. But with that, hey, let's all put our hands in there together. We're back.
Dutchman out.
And we're out.